What I'll do, I'll have a look at the transfer market. A lot of times you can get a fair few older guys for no compensation, or they're on the free, or it's a very little transfer fee, especially if you're at the bigger club, you want to have a look at these guys. So first one I'll have a look at, well, I only look at one, just Ricardo Carvalho. He is a SPL 38, very old. Professional personality, he's got a couple of play traits which I don't like, especially for a centre-back, gets forward whenever possible. I don't really like that, so I'll just probably use him as a tutor to train off the field. But mental attributes all across the board, for ones that I like, are very good. Work rate needs a bit of improvement, but that's not going to go up. Before his actual role as centre defender, once again, the positioning, determination, all these mental attributes are very high, so he's going to make a very good tutor. And actually, if they do have a professional personality or a very good personality, they'll actually make good coaches. So at 38 years of age, you'll get him in for 1 year, you'll play a rotation kind of role, and then after that, he might make a very good coach. The next thing I want to talk about is sending players out on loan, because game time makes a massive difference in their development as well. So if they're out of age of about 18 and over, and you're happy with the mental attributes, you're happy with the personality, but you're not exactly going to use them in your first team, or they're not ready, send them out and they might come back better for it. So we'll have a look at Fusu Mensah for this example. I'm pretty happy with his most of his attributes. I'm pretty happy with his determination. Fairly determined personality, could move up a little bit, but I don't think I've got too many players that can tutor someone of this standard. So what you want to have a look at first is in the reports. You want to see where he's actually suited to play. So he's suited to play in Sky Bet Championship football. So what you want to do is try to get some loan bids in for that Sky Bet Championship football, and you want him to be a key player or a first team player in a squad. So if a team has put in a bid and they're actually going to play that player as a key player or a first team player, still you want to have a look at their training facilities and also the team itself. So I will pick Huddersfield Town for example. So their training facilities are impressive. So if the team are putting a bid and they've actually got poor training facilities, that's actually going to hamper your players' development. So you might not want to send a player there. Well, I definitely don't. The next thing you want to have a look at is the team itself, and have a look at where they're going to play him, where you want him to be played. So for Fusu Mensah, I want him to play in the centre midfielder role somewhere, and have a look at the players that are in the side. Have a look if any of the players are better than him, or that you think will make the side ahead of him. If there are too many players that are going to be playing ahead of Fusu Mensah, I won't want to loan into him because I know he's just going to go there, he's going to sit on the bench. And after all, first team football is what we're looking for to develop him even further. Also, you can have a look at the manager itself. See if he's working with youngsters is okay. He's at 16, so he's not too bad. So if he's working with youngsters is very low, maybe you want to pick the side that has that better work with youngsters. Once again, it's all about balancing everything. So for this guy, he signs youth players as well for the first team. So he really does concentrate on youth, and that's what you want to see. You want to see your youth players playing, and a coach that's not just going to forget about them. So now I want to have a look at staff and coaching staff for their under 18s. A lot of people just dismiss it, just have a look at their main coaching side and don't actually touch the under 18s. So let's just have a look at the under 18s coaching staff. And as you can see over here, sorry, he's working with youngsters, and you want obviously all those attributes to be pretty high. So what I'll do, for an example, for this guy Colin Little, his attribute for working with youngsters is 14, which is okay, but if we can get a little bit better or a fair bit better, and then I'll have a look at his main attributes in for this guy, he's terrible. I'll just get rid of him. Next thing you want to have a look at is each and every category. If we've got a couple good attributes there, so you know that coaching category is going to be stacked and it's going to be a 4 or 5 star. So we'll have a look at fitness, and that looks terrible. There's no one there at fitness, so I do need to get a fitness coach. Defending as well, we need to get defensive coach in there. What I'm looking for basically is this yellow little attribute. So that'll tell me if I've got a good attribute in that area. If a goalkeeper coach, so I need to get that sorted. I need to get some coaches in straight away. Once again, I did put a video out last week about training in general, little tips and tricks, and that'll explain probably this a little bit better. Okay, after we've done all that, what I want to do is have a look at the players in general and have a look at a coaching plan and set up a coaching plan. So once again, I'll use Lee O'Connor as examples. What I've done, I've actually put a note on what I think about this player going forward and what I actually want to train going forward as well. As I said before, he's a central defender. He's most natural as a defensive right back, but he just doesn't have a couple of the attributes there that are needed. What I do see in him, however, is a ball playing midfielder. So you can see first touches at 12, his passing is at 12, technique at 11. He's got good work rate, and a couple of other attributes there go hand in hand. Good aggression, bravery. So I think he can improve going forward, especially if we get everything sorted throughout his attributes. So I've made an individual training plan for Lee O'Connor. I just want to retrain him to a ball winning midfielder or centre midfielder. Balanced personality tutored by Blend. So after Blend has actually done his tutoring in about 6 months, that takes about 6 months to do, I'll move on to the next tutor. I'll keep on tutoring until he's about 17, and then I'll leave him. I'll keep on putting into notes, filling in, getting that personality until it gets up to professional. So this actually just gives me a little reminder on what his personality was before and who I've actually tutored in the past. The next thing, as you can see, is attributes that need work. So I've put down his strength and his pace. So if you have a look, his strength is at 8 and his pace is okay, but if I'm going to play him as a ball winning midfielder, I want him to have blistering pace. Okay, last but not least, we'll move over to the training. So I actually handle the under 18s general training. I don't handle their match preparation. I leave that up to the head of youth or the manager at the time. So what you want to do is concentrate first on fitness. So I'll leave fitness on for pretty much half the year, if not the whole year. Those physical attributes as you're growing up and growing older is the first ones you actually want to work on. The technical and the mental will come over time, but those physical attributes are the hardest to actually achieve when the player is getting a little bit older. So that's why I'll leave fitness on basically all year round. As you can actually see throughout this, I've got a little setup here where I can see that all the physical attributes and what one actually needs to be worked on. So when you move over to the next guy, you can see his worst physical attribute is probably strength, but for Trung, what I probably want to see is his stamina actually improve. He's a winger, I want him to get up and down all day. I actually want him to close down a little bit as well on the wings, so I'll actually work on his stamina. After that, you basically go through the whole squad. Look, I do training plans for the whole squad. What I'll do is work on for probably Man United for these. I'll work on these 3 guys. I'll get these 3 guys tutored, and I'll work on everything and all those additional focuses. But the guys down here that are not really going to make it, I'm not going to waste my time. This guy here, sorry if you're watching, Thomas Sang. You're not going to make it. Not for Man United anyway, not in my side. Hopefully do it one day. And this clip is shown all over the world. Thomas Sang, that guy from Australia that said he'll never make it. Anyway, guys, I'll leave there. And if you like the video, please give us a like on the video. It really helps out. And also, if you've got any other ways or any tips and tricks about developing youth, please leave a comment in the box. If I've missed out anything, I probably have. Please leave a comment in the comments below. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the FM Scout YouTube channel with me, Keepers. And guys, today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about how to develop youth players on Football Manager. And before we kick off into the video, I'm going to kindly ask you guys to check out my channel link, which is in the description. And if you're looking for a Football Manager 2017 Let's Play, then I'm currently doing one with Borussia Dortmund, so if you guys can check that out, that would help me a lot. If a Football Manager, in any of the Football Managers, have you ever signed a youth player with a lot of potential? And how many times have you signed a player with lots of potential that they don't reach it? And it is one of the most frustrating things ever in Football Manager. So today, I'm going to offer you a little guide which has some advice on the best ways to develop your youth players. Try and get them to that potential which you want. So we'll take a kind of small look at team training, the kind of subcategories in training, such as obviously I said team training, individual training. Then we'll move on to the kind of staff that you would need and how much of an impact the staff make, as well as your facilities. And also taking a look at maybe a side of the game which is sometimes overlooked, which is tutoring. And then obviously the big one is game time. So if you feel this video has helped by the end, then obviously leave a like, comment whatever you guys want to do. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So going into the first category we're going to give some advice on is team training. Now, some of you guys might not even know how to get onto the team training menu, but for those who don't know, I'll point out here, you move over to the bar on the left, click on training, go up to the top which is next to overview and click on team. team. Now, team training is just one big umbrella for all the subcategories under team training. Team training as a whole is just your general training that the player receives. It's where they tend to develop most as an overall term. And as I said, there are numerous subcategories to team training, which we're going to go through right now. These include training focus, training intensity, rest days before and after matches, and scheduling of training. So moving on to the training focus, which is this little tab up here. You can click the drop-down menu, and there are a lot to choose from. And you can change this to whatever you guys want, but there is advice on which ones you should choose at different times of the year, such as pre-season, during the season, and then maybe post-season. So let's say during pre-season, your players have just come back from holiday and they're not fit whatsoever. You may want to click on fitness, or if you've signed a couple of new players, maybe click team cohesion, which will let the players get to understand each other a bit more, how to play with each other a lot better. You can also change the main focus with how your team plays. So let's say that you are a more defensive team and you want to kind of keep all your players back and keep incredibly compact and tight and then break. You may want to keep it on defending. Or again, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you are a possession style team who like to keep the ball, pass it around, dribbling it out, maybe ball control is what you want. Or again, counter, you can maybe go on defending or even attacking. And just below it is the intensity levels of your general training. This again is pretty self-explanatory, but even still, there are some advantages and disadvantages with each one. Obviously, you can change it ranges from very low to very high. If you go on very low, obviously your team won't get as much training and therefore they won't develop as quickly. Whereas if you put it on very high, they get a lot of training. That's when they tend to increase the most. But the disadvantages that come with that is it does tire your players out a lot more. And as every Football Manager player has experienced, players become upset with a high intensity of training. I would say obviously the best is average, but depending on the type of players that you have, if they're professional or if they're determined, then they can maybe cope with a high intensity levels. But I would keep it on average and then see who is in your squad and see which one fits you the best. Moving on again in terms of team training, there is such a thing as scheduling your general training and match training. You can schedule your general training as in your main focus. Over on the left hand side, you can see main focus is whatever you want on certain weeks. Obviously, you don't want to keep, say if you put it on fitness in pre-season, you don't want to keep that on over the full course of the season because your players will become fit and then you'll lose out on some better training in other divisions such as obviously attacking, defending, ball control, tactical, balance, and team cohesion. But again, you can schedule it to however you want. If you want to spend maybe a month on a certain aspect of training such as attacking, you can schedule it. So we've got the month here, so we could go main focus, go attacking, main focus, attacking, and third week attacking. And then after that, you can change it. But also with the match training, say you're going to play as in here, Red Bull New York, we're Manchester United. We could go with attacking movement because we should be able to, we're a much better team than them. They have more defensive vulnerabilities. But the more match training you have, the less general training you have, and vice versa. The more general training, the less match training. But again, the more match training you have, the more well prepared you are for each match you go into. But it might not benefit the players as much because they lose out on that general training. So there is a mix and match. If again, friendlies, match training, or the match preparation isn't maybe as focused on because it's not the most competitive games in the world. And there is a bit of advice on the FMCO website on this that you should probably spend about 20 to 30% of team training on match preparation so you can use the other rest of the time to strengthen the team in areas which you want, such as I said, attacking, defending, ball control, and the likes. Another quick one here is up at the top. You can see rest day before match and rest day after match. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. Again, the rest days are days in which the players obviously rest and there's no training whatsoever. I would personally have the rest days after the match because after the matches they don't typically tend to train because of the fitness levels are down and it wouldn't be beneficial. So rest day after the match to get the fitness up and they don't lose out on training. But as Football Manager goes and how the real footballing world goes, there is sometimes, in some months, there are a lot of games started all over the place. So let's say you get 4+ games in the space of 2 weeks. You may want to put it on rest day before match as well, just because if obviously you're running your players down to the bone, that increases the chance of injuries. So if you put them both on rest day before match and rest day after match, you see it change there. That lets your players get their fitness back in between matches and last the full month of those congested fixtures. So that is general training in a nutshell. We're going to move on to individual training. Now, move on to here is a lot of words and a lot of text, but basically this is how you maybe define or create a player to how you want them to play. As it says on the FM Scout website, you can change a fast, technical, attacking midfielder into a patient, creative, deep line playmaker with the correct training if you really wanted to. And like the team training, there are different subcategories to individual training, and there's only 3 of them, and this one is individual roles / specific attributes, positional training, and the preferred player moves. So on to the first subcategory, which is the individual roles and specific attributes. Now, when you're met with this, you won't get to see the training for the specific attributes. So what to do is go to this top bar, right click, go down to insert column, scroll all the way down to training schedule, and then additional focus. And when that comes up, you can just move it next to position and role, and you can click through it, and that would let you choose which attribute to go ahead and make that their additional focus. So individual roles and the specific attributes is where you can, as I said, define a player's attributes through focusing on a certain set of attributes, which is the individual roles, or you can go very specific and go for just one attribute you want to improve, which is, again, the additional focus. So if we go to, let's say, Memphis Depay, and you wanted to increase his finishing, you would click that, and that would get him working on his finishing. I would personally tend to keep these on none and to go for something like positional roles. So Memphis Depay, attacking left midfielder, let's go for inside forward. Now to see what attributes that would increase, click on his profile, go down here to roles and duty, click on inside forward, and the ones which are highlighted are the attributes in which he will, train on. So, maybe his vision will increase, maybe some of his mentals will increase, his composure, maybe his decisions, especially because it is on 8 off the ball, and his pace and acceleration would increase. As I said, I would tend to keep it on individual roles, as that will see the player develop a lot quicker in the whole set of different attributes. Whereas if you want to go for a single attribute which you yourself can see that would improve and make the player more valuable to you, then you should focus on that specific attribute. And just like in general training, there is a workload medium. It goes obviously all the way from light, average, and heavy, or the lights. And I would personally keep it on average, as again, just like before. You need to see what type of players you have, if they can deal with a higher workload or they can deal with a lesser workload, and that's that. Now, I've already spoken about individual roles, but in Football Manager, you're actually able to train a player in a different position. Now, we're going to use Memphis Depay for this again, because as he can play attacking left, he can also play in a host of other positions. Now, before you go ahead and just click a random one and go, you can play, let's put you on right mid and put you as a defensive winger. That wouldn't really work in most cases. You need to go through the individual roles and see which roles and which positions he can actually play in. So if you go into Memphis Depay, let's say you wanted to play him as an attacking midfielder in the centre. Now, we want to put him as engaged because some of his stats here are pretty low for it, and he wouldn't really increase. Whereas if you go on to Shadow Striker, he has a lot of the stats already quite high in that position. So you don't want to trade him as, you don't want to trade him as a striker in, say, a tripartista when he doesn't really have as many of the stats as possible. The best one would be is to see if he has the specific attributes to play in that position. Shadow Striker, he can get a lot of 16s and in the high kind of 10s or low 10s, which can be increased. So you can train a player there. And this can be very useful as obviously it gives you more squad depth. So say if you're in United and you had one Matt attacking mid, and when Rooney was already out injured, and then Matt ended up getting suspended or injured, and you've already trained Depay in an attacking midfield position. You just move him in, it gives you a more versatile player, or more squad depth. Moving on to one of the more complicated is the preferred player move. This is one sometimes people because there are a lot to choose from. These are kind of skills or habits which players pick up through tutoring, training, or just naturally. They range from things like, attempting overhead kicks, or to avoid using your weaker foot, and there are plenty of every skill player you can do. I think there are some of things which have a large part in player development. Now, if you want to see who your coaches are and how good they actually are, again, move to the left, click on training, move up to this bar again and click on coaches. You're looking at managers have a lot of coaches, and if your coaches are very good, then your players just simply won't benefit from them. And there are certain things which you should be looking for in a coach, things like high determination, motivation, and another thing on the side is sometimes the ability to speak on the nation of your club or where your club is from, and also things like their experience in the game before, and they are good concerned gamers, such as consider perfect strength, movement, tactical doctrine, defending, and anything. As I said, having a coach who speaks the language of where your club is from is good, and one of the things you do is having a coach that speaks the language of specific players in your team. So again, bringing someone again, we're going to use Memphis Depay, bringing someone from the Netherlands who can speak his language, because that will help them able to communicate with the coaches as well, and also getting settled in the game. And there's a star system at the bottom here, which will improve if you have better coaches. And you can see it's a bit mix and match, so you can copy and move all, go through each of these slides, look at the from the right hand side, and send them to which one you have to do. So Carlos Martin, let's go for fitness, movement, strength, strength, or work, doesn't really matter. So he has a higher performance in the communicator, again, by maybe 6 things on the other side, and you have 2 or 4 stars or 4 stars in fitness, but just go through each level one, and try and get them to at least 4 star level 1. And as well with coaching staff, the better the facilities you have, the more your players will improve. So go and check what the facilities are, and do one or two things. Manchester United, to facilities, or stadium, or corporate facilities, or training facilities, or youth facilities. So Manchester United, football facilities, still have training facilities, and youth facilities. So Manchester United have pretty high standards of training facilities. One way you can check is going back to the training entity, and at the bottom you can see training facilities is 5 stars. So it is important to constantly develop your facilities to get the most out of your best players. And also, on a little side note, if you have better facilities, it will allow you to attract better players to your club. So it's another thing to take into account too. So obviously, in conclusion, it's pretty self-explanatory. Better coaches and better facilities develops your players better. So moving on into the latter end of the video now, onto something which is sometimes, but not all the time, overlooked, and that is tutoring your players. Now, tutoring in Football Manager is when you have experienced players or senior players in your squad. You order them, or at least ask them, to take the younger, less experienced players, under their wing, on and off the training ground. They will help your young players settle in more. They'll be more comfortable with training and help them develop their attributes. And a thing to take into account when you're choosing a tutor is that they should probably have better mental attributes and to have a similar personality to the player you wish to be tutored. And to go ahead and get a tutor for your player is choose a player which doesn't really have a senior role at the moment. So Axel Tuanzebe, I don't know how you say his name properly, but go up to development, go down into tutoring, click on that, and you can see Alex Tuanzebe is fairly determined. Now, there aren't really many fairly determined players, but that doesn't really matter exactly. So you can ask someone like Chris Smalling to tutor Tuanzebe. As a senior member of the squad, I would like you to tutor blah blah, as I can feel it can help improve this game. I don't see any reason why not. I'll invite him into the room. Again, just keep clicking around and say, okay, I'll work with Chris. Hopefully I can improve my game. Chris Smalling, okay, I can go now. And then Chris Smalling will now tutor Axel Tuanzebe. And if you find that young player actually enjoyed the tutoring experience and took something from it, may have even subtly picked up a player preferred move from the tutor, in this case, Chris Smalling. As well as seeing the young player become more intelligent on the pitch, you can sometimes see their mentals increase, and obviously the tutor will help you bring your squad together if it's used correctly. So squad cohesion will also increase. And last but not least, we'll move on to talk about game time and player habits. And that's one thing that every young player needs to develop is obviously match experience and game time. And also sometimes you can think, you know what, we'll just send them out on the inside of that and then bring them back. It's not always the answer, because more times than not, you could be as if you get Marcus Rashford. You could be to someone who's in League One, and they might have poor training facilities, poor coaching staff, or spending time may not help Rashford develop the way you want him to. So really, you need to think about when you offer your players out for loan, have a look into the clubs which offer to take them off your hands, and have a look at their coaching staff, have a look at their training facilities, and see if the best suitable club to take the player away from it. And another thing you can do is obviously keep the player in your squad and play in your own games. Obviously in the less, the less important games, obviously when you pick them as your own opponent. This is because obviously actually they have important experience and great team, again, just team cohesion, and understand how the other teammates play, and basically it's your own opponent. Anyway, if you keep him at the club, you can then again have full control over his training and how you want him to develop. Because sometimes you might see the player on loan and the manager of the team who took him out on loan may not play him, and then you're just sitting away and he's just lost a full year of good training. So all in all, the more games you play, the quicker they develop. However, you should be careful not to play them too much, because also they're used to playing youth football, and some football is a lot more physical, so keep them on to the process. And the last piece of advice is obviously the captain's squad report. This is one of the most important, as if the players aren't happy, you should not put in the effort or anything that you develop the way you want to. You have to constantly check on them, because if you have a good training, like you said, if you're not happy, it's going to be workload. But in general, obviously, you can have a number of things that you can do. Football, or if a team comes into them and you need training also, you can sometimes get them happy about that. So if you're not happy, find a solution as quick as you can. Because the training players will develop quickly, but also play better forward, and be the world-class player you want to be. As well as that is the whole host of advice I'm here to offer you guys for this video. Again, if you feel this has helped, if I've explained it well, and there's a leave a like. If I haven't explained it too well, then comment down below, and I'll take that feedback on board. Again, check the channel in the description for looking for all the content. So if you want exactly what you're doing, you can visit me. I'll see you in the next video, and then finish keepers.
Hello, welcome to FM Scout. I'm your friendly host, Bood FM. Thanks for checking out this video. Now, this video isn't just about training a wonder kid. This video is also about training any young player you've got. But it's also an experiment, because I want to see if doing it yourself actually makes a difference. I've never actually compared it to what a computer does. I've actually laid down the computer. I want to real look. Does it make a difference, or just wasting your time? Or just doing it? Or doing it yourself? Does it really make a difference? I believe it does. I hope it does. It's not my life doing this. So, I've got it. Used Marcus Rashford. He's like the well-known kid, striker, Manchester United. 18 games starts, we've got 32.5 million. We're basically going to look at almost when the game starts, then we're going to jump 5 years into the future and have a look at how the computer develops him, and the computer's in control of his career, of his training. And then I played 5 years as Manchester United, and I put a lot of effort into it, and we'll compare it to that and see if with me training him, with me playing him, does it make a difference. Now, before we really get into it, there's what point in the direction of my channel, Bood FM channel, where I've got a current series of football talent called Bood in the Hood. Hopefully you'll check out, hopefully you'll like it, and you'll like it, and hope it, which is fantastic. Now, the technical terms, we're really see what all it is, we're actually going to shoot it, that's what we're going to shoot it. It's all going to see the player, having tutored by top quality players and trying to add as much to his mental side as I can. And then all I'm going to do is every 3 months, I'm going to double check his stats and I'm going to work on his technique, work on his strength, work on his passing, work on his finishing. Every time his stat ups one, I'll switch it to something else. Also, I'll be trying to add things to his game until I've got 4 things added to his game. I think I've 5 now, and we'll keep working on that. We'll just keep chipping away. That's all I do on my nucleus. Nucleus. Sometimes I'm never playing. I feel like I'm really working over and again, switching it out. It's really good to play. It's a little bit of detail, and we can make it easier. Right, let's get going. What we're going to look at first is Marcus's technicals when you start the game. Right, here we are. And these are his technicals when you start. Now, he's got good finishing and decent technique, but nothing there is like, woo, massively amazing. But, you know, he's only 18, and they're decent. So let's have a look what happens in 5 years' time when the computer's at control of his career. Now, as you can see, there's not a massive improvement there, is there?